Welcome to Cultivated Live for Thursday, September 26th. I am Jay Rosenthal. I'm the co-founder of Cultivated Media, the host of this program called Cultivated Live. And since we launched way back in November 2023, our goal at Cultivated has been to be cannabis industry first, providing you with the most important, insightful, useful, and timely information every single day. We do that through a daily newsletter, which you can get at cultivated.news. We do that through this daily live stream, which streams through LinkedIn and YouTube. So get our newsletter, follow us on LinkedIn, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you do, you will know that every Thursday we have on Krista Raymer, the founder and CEO of Vetrina, the foremost cannabis retail consultancy. Krista, welcome.
Jay, thank you.
And as I was giving that little intro, which I've almost memorized at this point, I say important, insightful, useful, and timely information. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, because about an hour and a half ago, you posted on LinkedIn about the upcoming holiday of Halloween, which I think I want to talk about Halloween, but also how it frames how cannabis retailers ought to be thinking about holidays. And I found it very instructive. I read the whole thing. Obviously, we know Halloween is October 31st. It's a weekend this year, which changes things.
Thursday.
Okay, it's like a weekend. The Thursday is the new Friday. Talk about sort of what you wrote, and does this translate to sort of other holidays as well?
Yeah, I mean, last year we also had Halloween kind of like around the weekend. And so this year, with it being on the Thursday, we're going to see obviously kids out on Thursday. But it creates an opportunity for Halloween parties kind of on both weekends before and after the fact. And so when we took a look at the category impact of sales, so what was selling last year versus maybe what's going to be selling this year with the team from Surfside, we found that things like vapes or edibles perform much better during Halloween than in the weeks leading up. So there's an opportunity to be like category focused during that time period. And then a secondary call out is that there's really almost like 3 periods to this holiday. There is the weekend before, there is the actual holiday, and then there's the weekend after. And the customer behavior will adjust and change slightly as we go through those time periods, but it's all based around like one day.
Yeah. Like you said, vapes and edibles, those are pretty discrete form factors. It's like people are spending time with their kids, but also on either end of the holidays, you said, like there's adult parties. And if you're thinking about that, and we've talked, I think, a little about this around New Year's and even the Super Bowl, like there are certain events that lend itself to certain products, right? Like pre-rolls and edibles for a party that you're having. People might buy those in bulk in the lead up because they're good to hand out.
Yeah, like
not to kids, sorry.
Not to the kids, but like the shareable aspect of those products for sure. And I think if we think about the majority of customers who are driving revenue into stores, really it's like a millennial customer right now with a little bit of Gen Z. And then obviously there are some older demographic consumers, but most dollars are being generated somewhere in that kind of like millennial age bracket. So what are those customers have in common right now? They probably have like young kids who are trick-or-treating. And then they also likely still have a social group around kind of like doing something for the holiday, either the weekend before or the weekend after. So it's so important as a bud tending team, as well as when thinking about building promotions, that we actually need things to service the same customer, but potentially 2 different ways. Is this product for you to consume, or is this product for you and a group to consume? Because what I might purchase would be likely different than what I might buy for a group of friends at a party, unless I know that all of them are super experienced consumers. And so we have to be able to like have that conversation on a sales floor, as well as have the either promotions or the product assortment can be a combination of both to be able to support those. Do I think that you need to go super deep on like shareable, impulse-driven products? Likely no, because those are the ones that customers are already going to purchase. So it makes sense to put together things like bundles to make it more I guess, like more attractive to purchase bigger volume of units. With vapes specifically, if you have a customer purchase more vapes than what they typically do, you're just going to push them out of the store for a longer period of time. And so to to do that, we want to avoid that. So we want to be thinking about what do they want in this moment and how might this be different. So are there seasonal flavors that can support the customer during this time period?
Pumpkin spice. Just kidding.
Pumpkin spice.
Spice. But it actually lends itself to something I've learned through your bud tender training, and that is understanding the customer that come in, and like the one question, what brought
Yeah.
you in today, would get at a lot of the things you're actually talking about, right? If someone comes in
Yeah.
like, I'm having a party here, like that opens itself up to sort of one level, or I'm
Yeah.
looking for something that I can, as I take my kids trick-or-treating is a whole different vibe. But like that actually gets at those things.
Yeah, and like there's a big group of customers that are purchasing weekly or bi-weekly. They might be on their regular purchasing cycle and they might not care that Halloween is going on. And so also being able to weed that out of the conversation is important. So it really starts with bud tenders. It also starts with auditing kind of like the assortment. What do we have to drive incremental product purchasing? And then from a promotions perspective, how do we support the bud tending team with the real behaviors that our customers are going into the stores with?
We got a comment on LinkedIn. I can't tell from this back end who it is, but here's what it says: bundles equals bigger baskets.
Yeah, it definitely can.
Yeah.
It also is like, how do you put together that bundle strategically? Like, is there a way, or are you thinking about bundling multiple units of edibles, for example, or are you actually doing cross-category bundles? Like, here's a vape for you, but here's some edibles for your friends, kind of thing. So this is a holiday where I think you can play around with some of the promotional activity to extend beyond just category for category promotion.
It's Scott. I know it's Scott
Got
Walters. It's Scott. It's Scott. It's Scott. Thank you, Scott, for tuning in as you always do, and actually leave nice comments as well. Yeah, so I want to zoom out a little bit. So that's like Halloween, and because it falls on a Thursday, there's some unique aspects to it. But this
Yeah.
is true as we go into like a busy holiday season, let's say, right? Because Halloween is obviously October 31st. The weekend before, weekend after, and that Thursday are super important. But Thanksgiving, Green Wednesday, like this type of mindset about why will people be shopping? What will they be looking for? Like that is the mindset I would think that you'd want Halloween through New Year's, and actually even
Yeah.
through sort of Super Bowl.
Jay, you're helping us plug our report with Surfside. But in the report that we did put together with Surfside, we look at like the entire period. And you're absolutely right. We've got a lot of little blips in weeks that come up between basically Halloween to January 1st that are some of the highest performing weeks of the entire year. And that has a lot to do with what is going on with the customer and like what activities. We also see a different shift in what products perform and what products get purchased frequently together during those timelines. So what sells at Halloween is slightly different than what sells at like Weed Wednesday, even like Black Friday, and then the 2 weeks leading up to Christmas, or like during Hanukkah, for example, and then getting into the new year. We have to think about matching our promotions to our customer. This isn't only about getting cheap product into our customers' hands. This is about getting the right product into our customers' hands at the right time and them knowing that we have that for them. And I think that's where we've missed the mark potentially in the past. And so the next big one to be thinking about and focus on specifically from an assortment perspective would be Weed Wednesday, Black Friday, and Cyber Monday.
Yeah, it's interesting because we have another comment from Amber Craig, who knows of what she speaks. Certainly, cannabis retail, and I deal with sex for me in the past was mystery bundles. Customers are willing to spend double their ABV just for the intrigue. Love the
Yeah.
intrigue. A scary bundle, if you will, for Halloween.
Yeah, we've done a very similar thing where we put together mystery bags, and we usually target for a lift in the average basket size when putting those together. Helps to either expose customers to new products or your own house brand products if that's the case. There are ways to think through how you want to put those together, bundles together. The other thing that's very helpful with that kind of activity is also providing scarcity, that there are only so many. And that also will ensure that they sell through, because there's nothing worse than having something like that and then having excess and it's difficult to move after the holiday. So seasonally based things, don't be afraid of selling out. Obviously, if you sell it really, really early, take that as a note, adjust for your next time that you apply the same strategy, but don't be afraid of sellouts. And that's the same thing with seasonal based flavors as well.
Yeah. Yes. It also happens to be cannabis like event season. And
Yes.
I saw you because I was looking at the agenda for upcoming Benzinga in Chicago, and you are moderating a panel.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not
About
saying that
merchandise,
as a surprised
which
way.
is
I'm
like,
saying you're going to be great.
thank you, Jay. No, but we're going to be talking about merchandising, which I think neatly ties back to all of this. It's like, how do you bring the strategies from a promotional perspective, your inventory and assortment, into the sales floor and provide a sales floor that is great for the customer, but also really good for the budtending team, because the sales floor is a sales tool. And so during this time period, if you want to crush through sales, there's an aspect of this is looking at the physical environment and saying, have I given my customers and my team what they need to be able to execute our plans?
Yeah, the benefit of also that we can go to dispensaries in Chicago and see how they are merchandised, if you will. I don't think
You want
I think the
to
last time I
social?
was in Chicago, there was no legal cannabis. So this time there will be, which will be great. And we'll be calling on our friends in Chicago, like our friend Brad Spirison, formerly of Grown In, to show us around some of his local haunts, and the team at Benzinga as well. Krista, as always, it's nice to see you on Thursday. I've learned a lot. Well, I learned a lot by following you on LinkedIn, and everybody should do that, but also from this program as well. So, Krista and team, thanks so much.
Thanks, Jay. Have a great day.
Thanks. That is it for today's Cultivated Live. Join us tomorrow when Chris Roberts from MJ Biz Daily will be with us. He'll be talking about a couple of big issues in California, including a crackdown on hemp-derived THC products, as well as some things that are on Governor Newsom's desk right now that will help the industry a great deal, including cannabis lounges potentially. So, Krista, tune in for that. I know you will. Everybody else, we'll see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific on our LinkedIn and YouTube channels. As always, get our newsletter at cultivated.news. See everybody tomorrow. Thanks, Krista.
Thanks, Jay.